Hey, Hurricane Howley here. Hey, so another on the ground exclusive here from Honolulu, Hawaii. You can look behind me here. We are currently experiencing Hurricane Olivia, and this was something I didn't even know was coming. Hurricane Lane. We had the sirens going off out here in Honolulu. We had the alerts on our phones. Nothing for Hurricane Olivia here, and so I go and check online, and I see that this is actually just a tropical storm, and there have been some weather alerts issued, but we are experiencing winds and rains that far exceed what we experienced with Hurricane Lane. So I would really like to know what's going on with the weather service here. What kind of games are they playing with us? Because this is a far more dangerous situation than this last weather event that we had. So right now there's a little bit of a calm. I just had to close a bunch of shutters here because the winds were just too intense, and I was worried that things are going to start blowing around. I had to go out and look on the internet myself. I'm surprised the internet is still up right. So many of you have not experienced living through a hurricane or some kind of weather disaster. So just to give you an idea of some of these real life impacts, some of the things that could go wrong. So I leased a new car this weekend, and so I had to switch my insurance policy, put the new car on it, get the other one off. So I took care of that. But then I got a call from the dealership. They said that I had the wrong amount of coverage on my new policy. So I call the car insurance company and I say, hey, we've got to correct this issue because I need this squared away. So the insurance company said on the phone, I'm sorry, right now, there is nothing that we can do. We cannot make any changes to policies because of the storm that's nearing Hawaii. So you're not going to insure my property just because there's a chance that the storm could damage it. I just felt like that was really wrong and selfish. So it got me thinking. It's like, well, so what's going to happen here if I'm driving my car in the next day and I get into some kind of accident? My insurance won't cover it because of this storm. That's such an unforeseen situation. Could really put me in a hardship. So I was thinking about maybe starting a GoFundMe. Just to make sure that I'm covered here in these next couple of days. Fans of the channel, friends, maybe you go just drop a few bucks in there, just because I don't, we got to have each other's backs. So that got me thinking about an easy way for friends to help each other out with this. GoFundMe is great, but I don't know, the idea is that you're going to spend that money, right? You're going to, my case is a little bit different. I'm just looking for like a little bit of insurance through the storm. So I was thinking about like a new app that we could create, an open source app. It can be called Friendsurance. So it's like insurance that you share among friends. Like you got your group of friends, you all pitch in, a few bucks, and now you've got this group kitty where if something goes wrong, something bad happens to one of your friends, then I can use the funds in our Friendsurance policy to go towards my hardships. You might be saying, oh, well, Hurricane Holly, this is already Social Security. We already have this. Well, the difference between my idea and Social Security is that, Social Security, that goes to every old person. What if you just don't like some old person and, they hate dogs? You're not going to want to contribute to that person's fund, right? So that's why the Friendsurance is like Social Security for your friends, right? And the great thing is, people change friends all the time. So say you've got your group of friends, everybody's contributing to the policy, and so all of a sudden you're like, hey, I just found out that Doug is still really into Dave Matthews. And that's just not cool. That's not in line with my values. I'm from Chicago. So years ago, if you don't know, Dave Matthews, their tour bus was driving over one of the bridges over the Chicago River in downtown Chicago. They let their septic tank, they emptied their septic tank right over the bridge, and it's a graded bridge. There just so happened to be a tour boat going beneath them at the time, so people were sprayed with sewage, and a lot of the sewage got into the water. And the Chicago River used to be such a beautiful body of water, and ever since that incident, it's just been you can't go swimming in it. You can't go swimming. I had a friend who tipped over in a canoe, and her doctor suggested going to get a tetanus shot. So anyway, so that's the history of Dave Matthews, and my friend Doug now is like still always going to Dave Matthews shows or talking about him. I don't want him as part of my policy, right? So, you can move friends out of your policy. We got to work out all the details. We'll figure out how to do it, but this is a new app that we're starting. Like I said, it's open source. If you're a developer, if you got big ideas or something, call me up. We'll get this going. It's called Friendsurance, and I think it's going to be a big hit. And so until then, go ahead and use my GoFundMe to help me out. That's going to be Hurricane Olivia storm insurance. And if it turns out I don't need it, I'll just take that money and I'll issue it back to you, or I can donate it to charity, or if there's something else that you'd like me to get. Hey, Hurricane Holly here. Just wanted to give you an update on the storm here. You can see that it's picking up. The weather, the hurricane conditions are really picking up. I'm starting to get a lot of movement in the shutters. You can see I'm holding on tight to the railing here. I don't want to go over. That's a long ways down. And making these videos, it's just a hobby. I don't need to put myself at too much risk. So I'm going to be hanging on here. Actually, I'm going to be moving back towards inside the apartment because it's starting to get, it's getting concerning out here.